Okay. And I think we could start the overview. All right, we're live. Cool. All right, so everybody, welcome back to Heroes of Nessis, Session 11. Last week with Session 10, we picked up with the party on their way back to the camp, with Kiko a ways behind. In the last few miles on the way back to camp, Nia asked about the camp she asked about the camp that the party is returning to and about their motives. So they ended up discussing everything from the current political climate to the nature of Nia's capture, which she didn't share too much about. So as the party was approaching the camp, a familiar figure, Captain Arminius, the warden of the prison, zoomed past, and he was immediately let through the gates of the camp. So when the party arrived, they exchanged greetings with Nazir, who explained that Arminius is an informant, and he's here because Via wants him to be there for the birth of her baby. So the party was then called to the meeting room with Foldred to discuss how the mission went, and the group divulged the events of the day, and then finally revealed Namar rolled up in the rug. And the sight of Namar enraged Foldred, and he began to beat him. Satisfied with the damage for the moment, they returned to business. So Nazir took Echo and Namar away, and then Lara shared her story. And she shared that she was a scullery maid in Elmon's castle, and that she was new, and so she did not know that the North Tower was only entered by Vesta, Elmon's mother, and Vesta alone. So she entered to clean it and found something strange inside, and what she saw appeared to be an embroidery loom, and it was apparently magical in nature. The loom was made up of images of events past, present, and future. So on the loom, there was everything depicted from the Huldra War to Elmon's rise to power, the Purge, etc. But there was one image that wasn't complete yet, one for the future. And this incomplete image was beginning to show a blonde man with a haughty expression. And that is what Lara saw. And when Vesta caught her in the room, she was taken to the prison by Arminius, but Arminius took her to the brothel instead. And so after learning this information, Quadri slipped away to the pond near the keep, and while there he lit a candle and said a prayer. And then later on that evening, an old man appeared at the gates, and he was immediately let in. Nia recognized this man instantly as Lord Lauswin, her beloved employer. So the two had a good, happy reunion. And the party then continued their evening with chatting and eating. Was there anything that I missed?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Alrighty then.
If so, I'm sure we'll get back to that soon.
Yep. Alrighty, so we're going to be picking up. You guys are hanging out around the fire. You guys are with Lord Lauswin, and you have food, you have company, you have conversation. It is getting quite late in the evening. There still can be heard the sounds of childbirth from the med bay, and people are sort of meandering about, doing their business as you've observed them do other evenings. So, what are you up to?
Are we all at the fire together, or?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right where we left off, around the fire.
Well, right, I remember we were talking about each other's past a bit as well. I believe where we were leaving off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has been a pleasant evening. Do we have any indication on whether it will be a day or two before our next mission, or do any of you know whether we are heading out tomorrow morning?
I mentioned that there was briefly mentioned that a Professor Jahi might be helpful. Forgot to put that in there.
Right. I assume the other two are just stuffing their face at the moment, like in character. Because I do not know
Perhaps.
if anybody. Are you there? Siler, you muted.
Yeah, no, sorry. But yes,
No, you're good. You're good.
And it's more or less anything I wanted to do for today.
What was that? What was that again?
I didn't quite understand what you said there, Siler. Siler? Hello?
He muted again.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. No, yeah, everything's more or less. Well, for today, it's everything I wanted to do. So, I don't know if anyone wants to try to do this. Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, we heard. Sorry, we heard that. Yeah.
Okay, wasn't sure.
Hello.
I heard that. I don't know if she did.
I think I would just be talking to Orlofton and just kind of getting a history of what happened since I got abducted. Seeing what changes occurred.
Okay. So, Alsman will not have a lot of change to discuss. He will mention that he has been approached every once in a while. They're veiled as civil visits from Alamon's officials, but he certainly understands them to be more like loyalty checks. But he's managed to keep his cool and carry on.
I'm glad to hear that everything's been going okay. I guess I'm curious, what happens to me now?
Whatever you like, child. You'd like to join the ranks of this fine group, whether that is your long term. Your life is your own, Nia. Or if you'd like to continue serving me, I would be, of course, overjoyed to have you.
She'll look a bit troubled for a second, as she's kind of contemplating what to do next. But then she'll kind of meekly say, would it really be okay to stay here and help?
Of course, I think you could be most useful here. And if once all this is over, once we have what we are all entitled to, our rights, well then you may return, if you like. Or, if something catches your fancy while you're about doing work for this organization, and you wish to move on, you have my blessing, dear girl.
She'll reach over and kind of give him another hug. Just kind of overjoyed that he's allowing her to kind of have her freedom.
He'll just give this very warm Santa Claus type smile and give her a little nod. You're a strong girl. I think you don't realize this entirely, but you are strong, and you can find and follow whatever your heart desires. And if you should need my assistance in pursuing some new passion, you can always call upon me.
Thank you. I promise one day I'll repay your kindness tenfold.
There is no need.
At that, she's gonna look towards the other two, Maxim and Quandary. Would it be okay if I continue to stay with your group? I promise I could be useful.
I see no problem in that. I think we could use the company, the help. We are down 2 members from the start of our last mission. And I think if you want to join our cause, I have no problems at all.
Well, I don't know if I'm worthy of 2 members, but I promise I won't betray you.
That's a start. That's a good start.
That is a very useful thing and something that we have been kind of lacking of late.
Oh, well, let's just put it on a probationary basis until we figure out what you do, because I thought you said you were a fighter, but then you also used magic and didn't fight.
It seems like you have some magical capacity, and I would also be interested in asking you about that, if you are comfortable with that.
She hesitates for a second. Yeah, what did you want to ask about?
Well, I guess to be a start, how much do you know about your own magic? Because it seems like some people are trained, like myself, and some people are given it as a gift or given access to it through their lineage of some kind. And I was curious on if you knew on what caused yourself to have magic.
She
if
hesitates
you do not know,
to answer that question.
I mean, if you are comfortable. Not, I suppose I understand.
I don't know the exact details of my magic. I know I can use magic.
Alright.
Sometimes, very rarely, it'll kind of escape me a bit, but for the most part, I have it under control.
Interesting. And did you perchance have something weird happen shortly before you started to gain your magic, or is this something you two have always had?
As far as I can remember, I've always had it.
Interesting. Sounds like you do not know where it comes from, but if you would like, I can perhaps give a bit of advice on how to handle certain types of magic. I must say that I'm not the best at combative magic. It has never been my strong suit, but perhaps there are some things, if you would like some official training.
Her eyes light up at that. I mean, if it's not too much, I don't want to take too much time away from you, but...
No, it's quite all right. The only other thing that I really wanted to do before going to bed was ask a bit more about the professor that said that he maybe, I vaguely remember during the meeting, it being said that he might help with our mission. But I would like, if you are interested. I have not had many engaging discussions about the manifestations of magic in the past year or so. It has been quite a while.
Yeah, I think the professor is probably priority, but I would love to talk a bit more about magic and how to fine-tune my abilities.
Absolutely. I will see what I can do to help. I hope that I can help you to further understand your own place in this world, with magic. I mean, if I could help you understand your place in the world in a more broader sense, then I think that might also be nice. But you know what I mean.
She smiles. I know what you mean.
I just finishing up my last spoonful and just like, I thought you were good with talking to people, but this whole thing with girls is just you need more practice.
I am a bit out of practice, yes. I did tell you about my, traitorous lover and whatnot, so that seems like it is out of the bag at this point.
I mean, yeah, no, but they're not all going to be like that. I promise you. Not everyone's going to stab you immediately in the back.
You say that, but then we had Echo and quite possibly Kiko as well. So
neither one of them said they were with us. Is my only defense for them. They never said they were on our side. They were just along for the rush.
Fair enough, I suppose. My own folly.
Again, I have no reason to stab you in the back yet, so...
Well, if you do discover a reason, please let us know in advance. If at all possible. He says, I want to make sure is known sarcastically.
I shall give you at least a 3-day warning.
That would be plenty
if
of
it's
time.
Something we can fix, then that means we can fix it.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna get some shut-eye, but not before I go bother my blacksmith friend about a weapon I teased him into making. Good night, you guys. And that'll be...
Well, fair enough. Did you all want to reconvene in the morning to talk to this professor all together? And we can have our chat about magic.
Yeah, I think that would be fine.
Yeah, no, just
get in there fresh.
Are you guys early risers or late risers?
I mean, it depends on the day.
That's one answer.
Tend to be an early riser.
Guess you and me are just never gonna really be friends, huh?
I mean,
if you need me to, I won't disturb you.
I mean,
no, it's fine.
I'm more of a whenever it's convenience riser. I guess generally more leaning late. Ooh. All right. Well, good night, Quadri. Anyway, well, did you want to? Yes.
Do you think I made a bad impression on him?
I do not believe so. I think that he is perhaps just like that. He seems to be an honest and perhaps a bit bluntly honest sort of person, which is not the worst type of person to have as a friend, but can make some situations perhaps a bit more awkward.
I see that.
Yes. Yes. Are you doing all right? It seems like you have gone through quite a bit in the past few days, and being thrown into perhaps a very important mission. Maybe I do not know if you are fine with this, if there is no problem, or if there is something.
I think you could kind of say I'm used to um, my surroundings changing drastically. I am very good at um, going with the flow.
I suppose. That is a very, very skill, particularly to have in times of turmoil, which, as history would indicate, we are in the middle of. Right smack dab in the middle of.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yes. Yes.
But are
Yeah.
you okay? I don't know much about, well, your situation, but from what you've told me with the jail and the multiple backstabbing women.
I suppose you could say that, well, for a time I was not used to change as much as most other people would be, but I have grown a bit accustomed to it.
Well, adaptability is always a good trait to have for survival.
Yes. Did you wish to partake in that lesson now, or did you want to go and grab something to drink? I don't know how long, late or how long we'll be talking. Perhaps you will become a morning person now, late riser after all. Late riser tomorrow morning after all. That's not Max I'm fucking up, that's just me.
No, that's straight up Maxim.
Fair enough.
Sure, I'll go grab something and then we can continue our
No,
discussion.
Go and grab something. I'll come with you.
Oh.
I mean, did you have anything in mind? Like
Well, I think I'm just more curious about the magic lesson.
That is also fair.
I guess primarily, how do you control your magic?
I suppose it would be different depending on how you are utilizing your magic, but for how I understand it, having a understanding of why and what it is you are doing to create this magical effect, that is how I, and I think most other people, will do it. Though, from what I hear, there are some other schools of magic, or schools of thought about magic. Some people seek to control dominion over their own magic. Some people seek to ask magic for the effect that they desire. I suppose myself, as well as understanding, I just try to resonate with magic. Try to feel it out, I guess. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, I think so. You are trying to let the magic just come out naturally instead of trying to force it to do what you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes training, repetition can be helpful as well. If you have a specific effect, doing it a few times can help to know what it feels like. That way you're better prepared in moments of crisis, or if you want to be more consistent. So, I think to a certain degree it feels best. I think understanding helps. And I think that is the main thing that I can teach you, but having that resonate with you is more something that you have to feel for yourself.
So repetition and understanding. That's how I'll be able to control my magic better.
Yeah. And I would advise that you may not try to rush it. This process takes time. I spent the majority of my life trying to understand magic, and in the brief year that I have been imprisoned, I feel like I have fallen greatly behind in the resonance of it. Maybe not greatly, but behind.
And how long have you been studying magic?
I guess to a certain degree I had a bit of an innate magical ability, a bit of mischief. He kind of throws his hand in the air, and he uses minor illusion to just kind of throw a couple of sparks up in the air, a couple of fireworks. But it took me a great deal of time to be able to get my understanding. I grew up at the university. I do not know my birth parents. I was left there by a bit of a prodigy, so it seemed only natural that I take up studies in magic. But no, it took me about until my early teens to be able to perform magic to any notable degree. But again, I think that there are different circumstances around how people learn about their own magic. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you're good.
I think you've been very lucky to have the opportunity to learn from university and from others. I think you'll be a great teacher for me.
Thank you. It is reassuring. For a brief time, I was a teacher. He kind of looks over this direction towards Nazir. Not sure what's going on over there with him and Amar, but
he's currently just keeping watch over them.
I've taught a couple of good, perhaps a bit troublesome at times, but good students. I mean, plenty of frustrating students as well, so Yeah, it is. Teaching is a skill.
Oh, so you know the people that run this outpost?
Well, some of them. Some of them less so. Uh, yeah, I know I mentioned this before, but I had my own plans for rebellion that were stood, but I'm happy to see that there are others like-minded. But we go on our paths separately. I don't know if you kept up with all current events in the last 2 years, but I went with a couple of them into the wilds. So that was a bit of a bonding experience. Lots and lots and lots of family drama. I tried to stay out of it as much as I could. But you pick up a few things here and there. Does that sound correct? Lots and lots of family drama?
Yeah, quite a bit, especially at the start, but as the journey went on, it sort of cooled off.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Can I have you roll an insight check for me real quick?
Sure. What, do you not believe me? Let's see, insight. What's my insight? That's pretty nice. 14.
Okay.
Pretty decent bonus.
You will definitely notice that once you start mentioning the wilds, she stiffens and starts to look extremely uncomfortable again.
Is everything alright?
Yeah, no, yeah, why wouldn't everything be all right? I mean, the family drama is not all right, but
Well, I mean, it's alright now. Well, better now. There's looking over at Namar and looking over to the house with the birth going on. Still plenty of drama, just in a different form. But is this something about your past that is alright? Or is not alright, perhaps?
there is, I guess a lot about my past that is both all right and not all right. I think right now it's more all right than not all right.
That is,
So I think everything's all right.
I suppose, fair. That is a fairly non-committal answer, but I suppose if that is your answer for now, I will respect it. But I hope that you can be honest and open up if you wish to share.
She looks very conflicted.
She met you today, and you're asking this.
The whole time, Laosman's kind of been like sitting to himself, and he's kind of been listening in on the conversation every once in a while. Like his eyeballs will kind of turn to you, like, and then he'll look away, like do 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 do.
I did not realize he was still
totally
sitting there.
Eavesdropping. Oh yeah, he's still sitting there. He didn't leave. He's just
This
chilling,
is why I excused
having a rather
myself. I saw where
Dumbledore-esque
this was
presence.
going and just walked away. Like, hey, look, she's still
He's
a little
just kinda
freaked out, and he's acting friendly, and they can maybe help us
like
with
he's
that.
got this grin, like I'm not saying anything. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not saying anything. Oh, sorry, what'd you say,
I
Siler?
cast detect thought. No, I'm kidding. I could, but I'm not
God.
going to. Let me roll. If I roll in that one, I'll do it. If I roll in that one, then I will cast Detect Thoughts. That's a 7, so not in that one.
Well, that is right.
Seems I have struck a bit of a nerve, so.
No, it's fine. It's I don't want there to be any, I guess, awkwardness between us, especially if we're gonna go on a mission soon together.
That's fair.
She still looks like she's like internally fighting about something. I mean,
Can I roll an insight check?
Not that
Sorry.
struggling. Nelson will kind of turn a bit more like with this not expectant gaze, but this sort of like encouraging gaze in his eyes, like, oh, you can do it. You can open up.
Tania, correct?
damn it.
Yeah.
Like he's not just like giving this gaze,
Yep.
like keep on going, man.
Tania.
No, that's fair.
I am originally from the wilds. I came to this world, I guess this country, or this area. I'm not still too sure about how this is all works, but I was here under Inga's leadership. And when that failed, I didn't really have anywhere else to go.
Okay. Couple things. When you mentioned that you're from the wild, Maxim kind of like perks up and like I think he even like cocks his head a little bit, like, oh. Do I recognize the name Inga? Because I, the player, don't immediately recognize that. I'm looking through the NPCs to see if I see Inga, but I don't.
Yeah. Inga is a character who has not appeared, but most people would know who Inga is. She was the woman who basically absorbed Cephas's power, and then with that godlike strength, she led an assault on the rest of the world, leaving the wilds. And that was the cause of the Holdra War, which then Boldred, Nazir, Kirith, they stepped up to fight it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, Alamon, he stepped up, showed leadership, and gained the love of the people.
And yeah, Maxim set that one out because, yeah, he is kind of very intrigued as you're saying that. I see how that would be a point of interest. Yeah. That are. I kind of look over at Lord Loswin. Like, I assume that after all that went down is when he took you in then?
Yeah, I've been working as a maid under him for a while after that before it was taken.
Right. Well, I guess I would ask, ultimately, is what you are looking for. Are you wanting to get home? Are you wanting to make a home here? Are you wanting some grand purpose or plan? I guess I am just curious on why you've not tried going home.
She struggles a bit to answer that. Well, I think afterwards I wanted to go home, yes, but the longer I stayed here and saw that there were still people in need here, I felt like I couldn't go back.
I see. Kind of sits there in silence for a moment.
I think after a few seconds, Nia starts feeling awkward.
Fair.
I'm sorry. I know that was a little weird to say.
No, not at all. I guess I might be speaking for the people of this country, and I guess the people that feel the same way as all the people here in this camp do. Thank you for sticking with us, I guess. I personally was always an advocate for a bit of unity between the people in the wilds and the people of all the other countries. Admittedly, there is enough discord between all the people of our countries to span countless novels and history books, but I guess I hope that I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope that things work out.
Thank you. I hope that things work out for you as well.
Thank you.
Last one will give one more Santa Claus smile. And he'll stand, and he'll circle around to you, Nia. Well, I think, dear girl, you have achieved what the writers call character growth. And he sort of pats your head, and then looks to Maxim, and then back to you. And I think you will do just fine. And then with that, he'll put up the hood of his cloak and start to amble towards the gates to leave.
It was nice to meet you. Admittedly, a little bit strange, but I'm glad I have gotten to meet you.
You're not the only one who's called me strange, but I take that as a compliment. I wish you all
that is one.
the best of luck. Fate of this country and of the world rests in good, meaning hands like yours. And I have faith, certainly.
Does he walk off with that?
Yep, he slips off into the night.
Well, he is a interesting character. I can see why you'd want to stick with him. He is big presence, I suppose. It's a good way for wording it.
He is the kindest man I've ever met.
That seems like an accurate description of him. Well, I know it is growing a bit late, but if you wish, I can further explain certain magical properties and how they interact, and I do not know how much it will help, but hopefully it will help with some understanding. And basically, at this point, I'm opening up that if you want to just end the scene here and then they
Fast forward.
go to bed shortly after.
Down.
Yeah. Because
Or talk all
I don't
night
know
and
if
kill the fact that you guys need full rests to get magic back.
Yeah. Definitely
yeah, we're
going
actually
to
gonna
try
wake
and
up
get some
at
rest.
4 p.m. is when we're gonna finish our long rest.
Perfect.
Pull those all-nighters. I only
Yeah.
need an hour to get my
So
stuff back to the 8.
cool. Yeah, if we just
Oh,
want to say it's like
Did I have
he
you guys
teaches
level up
and
when you got back?
I
No? I don't
I
think
didn't, did
until
remember.
I?
level 5.
Okay, that's totally
Yeah, I'm
what I
still
meant
level
for you
5.
guys to do. Mm-hmm.
So
All
level
right,
up.
so yeah, I wanted you guys to level up.
Level 6.
All
Level
right.
up.
Man.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got
Yep.
a Bard
So
College
when
feature.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Don't remember which one it was.
Yeah. So are you all going off to bed, or are you doing like some magic lesson type stuff first?
Probably
This
bed.
is actually I think you maybe like a couple things in Magic Lesson, then bed, and we'll save that for like the trip
Okay.
there to do that further.
Okay.
And this is actually a very appropriate level up considering the conversation we just had.
Right? I learned new things.
I got some
Level
decisions
up.
to make. I also learned new things.
I like to think my level came
Yes.
from the fact that I just gave a report to my boss.
Fair.
I get to
Yep.
choose.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
overall it is very appropriate for you guys to have a level up. I know I've given you guys a lot of level ups, but it just kind of feels right. I don't know. I mean,
You decide that
I'm not just doing it by the seat of my pants. I'm doing
You
it.
level up when you feel we
Yeah.
level up. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think
And
we'll ever
since
say
this is
no
like
to a level up.
since this is a more
Also-
shorter-lived thing, I think it also makes sense to have like an accelerated level up rate.
Yeah, this is a mini
Yeah.
camp.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't be afraid
Yeah.
to give us a negative level in something for whatever reason. There are creatures that can do that. They literally rip the power out.
Wait, you can do what? That's a thing?
Wait, what was?
Oh my
They
What did you just say? I
gosh.
missed what you were saying.
Don't be giving her ideas.
This is something that's been used on me once
There are things
before.
where
I
you
know.
There's a specific monster that can actually rip a level out of you, and unless you kill them, you don't get it back.
Pretty sure that's homebrew. I'm pretty sure that's
Pretty sure it's
homebrew.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was a more common thing in previous editions, but got like lessened in 5e.
A lot of things.
There are
got
still
lessened.
monsters that'll drain your max HP.
Yeah, there are monsters that'll weaken that. There are monsters and effects that can take away your stats. There are spells that can leave you brain dead as a vegetable for a month, unless you hit their score. And those are spells that you can make abilities and just give them to monsters.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
gotta figure out because
You want?
the level up. Sorry, you were saying?
No, if you want something fun, if ever someone tries to conjure a fae, fairies are one of the best ones because make a little roulette wheel of a 1d10, give them that level of a spell as a freebie, and then just you can decide whether, because most fae are chaotic, how it's used. They could literally like attack an enemy or turn on the party, and it could be any spell. You could give a fairy like circle of death and have it use it once and then vanish.
Yeah.
Wow. Just learn new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Gosh, the beauty of the world. You never stop learning.
Just remember, you're the DM, so that's if you feel like make jigsawing something, give it a try. This is what the mini campaign's for, trying stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That and trying to figure out how to run combat better. But we'll get there. All right, so everybody's heading off to bed for a long rest and level up.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nia, there will be a cot for you. Just like everyone else, you'll have someplace to sleep. It's not like the most private. It's mostly just rows of cots, but it is better than a hard, salty
I'll take it.
ship floor. All right. So, overall, you guys have a peaceful night until. Can I have everybody roll me a perception check, please?
Ho ho ho! We're about to get killed.
Absolutely. 16.
16.
I'm sorry, what are we on?
Okay. You're rolling a
Perception.
perception check.
I also rolled a 16.
Oh, that's good.
16, okay.
I have a negative in this. Why did I make
He's gonna roll a 17 minus 1.
No, that was a 14 minus 1, so 13.
13.
13? Is that what you said, Siler? 13?
13.
Okay. All right. So, unfortunately, you just barely missed this. You must be sawing logs, Quadri. But the other two, Maxim and Nia, in the middle of the night, somewhere around the wee hours of 1 and 2,
sorry.
you'll
Can I
hear.
make my rating also make one? Sorry, I forgot. Because he never needs to sleep. He can just sleep
Oh,
away.
sure. That's true. Yeah, go ahead.
It's another thing to keep in mind, yeah.
It has a +3 next to my -1.
Yeah.
I need to start seeing specifically through my bird. I mean, like the -1 makes sense because I'm blind. Oh,
Yeah,
that's not,
absolutely.
oh, okay, the bird rolled a 19, so it's 322.
Okay, all right. So all of you, the bird especially, hear a bit of noise, a bit of shouting, and there's sort of the sound of some shoving. As outside, you can hear Via's voice raised in anger. Why didn't you tell me he's here? As she just, the sound of her sort of stumbling outside. And then there's the voice of Captain Arminius that follows. Via, please, don't strain yourself. And she just shouts back in reply, I don't care! I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him!
Who told
And
her?
that's what you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
So
thought it was a good
you
idea to
hear
tell
that?
her right after the baby was born? And she was gonna find out eventually. Okay, I rolled for it.
So go out and investigate.
I rolled to see what Maxim was gonna do, and I'm sorry. Let me roll and goes to sleep again. But
I mean,
let me double check.
fine if that's what he wants to do.
Tiebreaker. I think he'll go if he hears anybody else going out from where his barracks are. If he hears anybody else going to
Okay.
go out and confront the situation.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else going out?
I think
I'm
Crystal's
going.
busy. And Quandary, did you hear it?
Yeah, no.
I know, yeah, you did.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm going to check.
Hearing the others going, Maxim is gonna half-heartedly roll out of bed and see what's going on.
Okay. So if you all are going out to investigate, you will see Just a very tired, very weary looking Via. She still has birthing blood on her nightgown, and her hair is just plastered to her face as she stumbles toward where Namar and Echo are tied up, and she has a baby swaddled up in one arm, and you can see the glint of metal in her other hand. And trailing behind her is Captain Arminius, as he tries to apparently soothe her, get her to calm down. Anybody intervene, or just watching?
Who else is there other than her and Nazir? Let me. Namar.
Yeah.
Is Nazir there?
Yeah.
The captain is
So,
there.
Yeah, Nazir is still there. He's keeping watch. He looks cool as a cucumber, like he knows what's happening. He's not going to stop it. He's like, yeah, do it. And just around the corner, Mayera and Foldred are standing, watching expectantly. They're not going to stop her either. Captain Arminius seems to be the only one who's maybe trying to get her to be calm for just a moment.
I'm going to send my Raven to get to fly above 30 feet and cast Suggestion through it. Essentially with a caw, she'll need to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Wisdom saving throw, that's a 14.
And the
Okay.
Raven will just land on her shoulder very calmly and essentially just suggest that she take a breath, calm down a bit, and listen to the captain. Just hear him out.
Okay. So, hearing that suggestion, she will pause just a moment in stride, take her footing, and adjust the little baby in her arms, and then look to the captain. And the captain will say, Via, my dear, just don't strain yourself. Don't do this now. Focus on little one. You may have your revenge at any moment, but don't do this now.
He is not going anywhere. We will make certain of that.
Mm-hmm. And
And is
hearing
this how
that,
you want to
Via
remember
will...
your child's birth?
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, sorry. He was just gonna
That will...
make persuasion check. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That, I can tell you right now that sentiment, she will turn to Maxim, and with tears in her eyes, she'll glance between Namar, the knife, the baby, you, and all around again. She looks very conflicted, but then ultimately her gaze falls to the baby.
I'm going to actually set a trigger for the suggestion. If the baby starts crying, she'll essentially drop the dagger and give full attention to the child and try and make her way either away from the situation or back to her quarters with the kid. Once setting that suggestion,
let me roll to see if the baby...
I'm going to have the crow specifically try and call a little louder to wake up.
Alright, let's see. Alright, so the baby does start crying. And she will immediately just drop the knife and turn away from Namar, focus on the child. You little one, you're... You're innocent. How could I? How could I dirty this moment, this day? Even more violence. I'm so sorry. And she'll shake her head and look back to the captain. Niece, I don't think I have the strength to do this. I thought I might. Please. You who know justice, please do it for me. And she will just return to the cabin.
Is Namar
And
awake
before
for
that
all this?
she returns,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, Namar, he is barely awake, and he looks bruised, he looks battered. The whole time he's just kind of looked like punch drunk, if you will. But he's had the slightest bit of a grin on his face as he's looked at Via and the child in her arms.
I'll probably walk up to him. Just, is he kneeling, standing?
And as she's leaving, she'll look
No,
to. Yeah, he's kind of. Yeah, Namar's kind of kneeling, his hands tied behind him and around a post. And as Via is leaving, she will cast a very brief but thankful look at you, Maxim, and Quadri. Before finishing her walk back to the cabin.
I think you cut out there for me. I'm sorry. Did she say something?
Oh, did I?
Or was it just a look back?
I
No,
heard
she
you.
just. Yeah, it was just a look, a grateful look, as she finished her walk back to the cabin.
All right, then. I'll probably go over and kneel next to him and just whisper in his ear. They're going to live the rest of their lives never having to think about you. That child will never know you. They will have a father it deserves. They will have a life that you would only ever dream of having. And you will rot and disappear and never live again. So smile while you can.
That little smile on Amar's face never completely goes away. And he lifts his eyes, swollen shut as they are, he lifts them to Quadri. Whispers, every night, still remember, I will always be. If she wants me to, and I will live on to that child. They'll kill me now, but I'll still always be here.
You'll always be here in the ground that you'll nourish. The education will help more than you did in this life. But the memory is just that, and in the end, they always fade. Only the good ones stay. Yours. Because the inking memory of so long ago is Batman, and then nothing again. Until then, enjoy your life, what's left, and pray it's not me who gets to decide how you turn. He'll then stand
And as
start
with that-
walking away.
Whoop.
Actually, no. Before he does that,
Okay,
he'll
sorry.
stare. Yeah, sorry. After he says that, he'll stare him in the eye,
Oh, go ahead.
and it looks like he's about to talk to open his mouth, and a raven, like the one who's on his shoulder, essentially begins to crawl out of his mouth and out of his eyes, and then out of his clothes, and he shatters into a swarm of ravens that begin to circle around him for a few seconds before dispersing.
Quadri does this, the ravens come out of him, and he disappears?
Yep, this is new ability. I can literally turn myself into a swarm of ravens.
It's cool.
Wow. All right. And with that, Captain will take the dagger from the ground, and looking Namar in the eyes, he will stab him 37 times in the chest. No, I'm kidding. No, he will just with one single draw of the blade.
No.
I was about to suggest something, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That one might be good.
First in the stomach, and then slowly he'll draw out the blade again and stab him in the heart, and then in the nether regions, and just slowly wait for him to die.
I'll add to that and just let the raven swarm begin to slowly peck away at that HP. Very much left for the birds.
Is he awake for all this? Out of curiosity? Yeah.
I don't assume.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna do a thing, if that's all right. Is it all right if I do a thing?
Absolutely, because
Part of this would
I know
be
this. I know all this isn't like particularly like really connected to you guys, but I couldn't separate the scene from my head, and I just really want to. So if you want to add something, by all means do.
I think. Oh, I was just gonna. It's going this way anyway. You're probably gonna be all right with it. I'm gonna cast Bestow Curse on Namar. It gives a couple of options for like various curses that you could inflict upon somebody, but it also says that you can do, at the DM's discretion, you can choose to do alternate curse effects. They're of like a similar sort of effect. Yeah. Which actually, this is kind of a similar sort of thing to a different one of the effects. Basically, I just want him, like, this to hurt more. I just want all of this that is happening to hurt more. That he just kind of.
Well,
you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it's like his perception of time is slowed and his nerves are amplified. Just that he feels all this happening a bit more. And he has more time to think it over. Think over what brought him here.
That's perfect.
Think over why he's here.
So as Namar is dying, enhanced with all these effects from you guys, he seems like nearly paralyzed. Like he's shivering, his mouth just hanging open as it seems like he's just shivering with shock at all the pain. Like he can't seem to get a scream out. It's just so much. And finally, slowly, his head hits the ground and his eyes remain open for the last time as a crow pecks at it and gobbles it up.
Well, I'm going to go to sleep now and hopefully not have nightmares.
The crows that just finished eating him just essentially swirl together and out pops.
So, Is that like in you now, or is it like in a magical crow in another dimension? I don't know how any of that works, but yeah, I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to go to bed.
It's more or less this is what he saw.
Yeah.
That's where I got the idea from. Just 'cause
Yeah, no, that's
Cool.
vivid.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Some of you can finish up your long rest if you like. Nia, do you have any reaction to that? I know you're new here, but
Is a bit fucked up, but you know, it's more than a bit fucked up what he did and all the things he has done.
I think there's a
no,
second where
this is war.
Nia almost looks like she wants to say something, but then remembers who it is that they're doing it to and like shakes her head. And then she's just gonna go over and try to follow after Via, see if she's okay.
yeah, so Via, she seems a bit unsteady as she's getting to the door of the cabin here. And she'll look at you. Are you approaching or?
Yeah, I'm approaching. Especially if she looks unsteady, she's gonna try and offer support.
She'll nod. Thank you. I suppose Armidius is right. I shouldn't be exerting myself.
No, not
You,
in your
you're new, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Nia. New here. Did you need help?
I wouldn't mind a bit of assistance getting back in. Thought I could tough it out. You know, it's so difficult.
She will awkwardly nod her head
All that to
and
say,
offer to help her lead her back inside.
She will accept that gratefully, leaning quite heavily on you. And all the while, she'll be asking little questions like, so did you return here with the party?
Yeah, I came with Maxim and Quandary. They both, I guess, rescued me. I was about to be taken by him.
Well, it's a very fortunate thing indeed that you were rescued. Do you think you'll stay with us?
I think so. At least until someone tells me otherwise.
Good. Well, in the morning, you may certainly call upon me. I think we can get you something. And she looks at your ragged clothing. Perhaps we can get you something a little more substantial.
Oh, please don't worry about me. You should be resting.
Oh, no. I'll be fine. I like to keep busy, and I think with just a night's rest, I'll be perfectly fine.
Well, why don't we take that night's rest and see in the morning?
Right. Thank you, Nia, very much. And she holds up the baby. Little Thero, he thanks you too. And the baby kind of smiles. His crying has stopped. And he smiles at you, Nia. Kind of coos.
Her face immediately just beams. You are very welcome too.
Oh. Well, a good rest to you. And we'll see you in the morning.
After making sure that she's inside safely, I think Nia will go back to her cot. Back to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, she gets all settled in. And with that, bids a good night.
All right, so are we all back in bed?
Yeah.
I love
All right.
that you guys just made that scene 10 times better. See, this is what I love about D&D. Collaborative storytelling. It's so good. Anyway. So the rest of the night passes peacefully. Unless, was there anything else you guys want to do?
No, I
Audrey,
don't
did
think
you
so.
fly off in a flock somewhere?
Nope, reformed in bed and went to sleep.
Did you not even walk?
Okay.
You just reformed in your bed?
I can be a flock of crows for as long as I want until HP hits 0. And I can do this up to 5 times. A long rest. Why would I walk
That is
anywhere?
fair enough, I guess.
Right. So, the night passes peacefully the rest of the way for you guys. And you are greeted in the morning by a bright golden sun as it rises above the misty hills. And there's the pleasant sound of birds. And again, there's the sound of people, early risers, going about their work. And talking, meandering, and starting the morning. Who wants to get up first? I can have you roll for it if you like, but if you just want to, if somebody just wants to go first, you can.
I'm sleeping in late, so you guys go.
Yeah,
Okay.
The early
think
riser.
I think so. I think in this campaign, yes.
Fair. So I guess I'm waking up first.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Nia, again, it is a bright, beautiful morning as you're waking up. People are going about their business. Everybody looks quite busy. And, oh, did not mean to move you, last one. And there is the smell, the unmistakable smell of bacon and eggs wafting through the camp.
Bacon and eggs?
Ooh.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Good day. And
I will
at
probably,
the
I will probably go and try to
go ahead.
See where I am needed.
Okay. So you're asking people as they go about moving things and washing things. There's people like toting things, moving things, carrying things to and fro. Just there's a lot going on. So you're going about asking them if there's anything to do?
Yes.
Okay. So most of the people will just shake their heads and grin. No, we have this.
Oh,
And even a few of them will say, we're not terribly talented folk. We've got our hands though.
she will look very awkward. Are you sure? I could definitely help. I can help serve food or clean if need be. I just don't like sitting around doing
There's
nothing.
plenty of time in the day for that. You can go over and join Via if you wish.
Join who? I didn't. That broke out. For me.
And you can see. Oh, sorry. You can join Via if you wish, is what they say.
I will.
And if you look across the camp, you can see Via. She's got her baby sort of tied in a little pouch in front of her as she's smiling, filling up plates, and and she just seems to be her usual self. Not that you would know that is her usual self yet, but anyway, she seems in good spirits.
She will go over and immediately try to help and almost try to take over for her. Yeah, you should be resting.
Oh goodness, you're up early? Oh no, I have this, but I wouldn't turn down a bit of assistance. I don't mind. I don't like being idle, and I suspect you don't either.
No, I'm here to help. What do you need my help with?
Oh, just serving, just getting everything on the plates and handed out quickly. We have a lot of people to feed here.
Understood.
So try to catch up,
Yep,
or keep up if you can. And she sort of has this lightning speed. Yeah. I trust you slept well? She'll sort of talk between plates.
Very well, yeah, thank you.
Very good. I apologize for waking you with last night's outburst.
She will quickly shake her head. No, I think it's perfectly understandable why you did what you did.
Yes, well, I am endeavoring to move on. I have a very good reason to. And she not only grins at the baby, but also she sort of wiggles her fingers, and there is a ring on her left hand.
Oh. What? Are you engaged?
I am. About time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I never thought Father was going to give his blessing. Certainly kept me waiting, but better late than never.
Well, I wish you and your lucky spouse all the happiness.
You know, you're much sweeter than the last girl who came here. You seem to have a death wish out for me. I quite like you.
And just
thank
like that,
you.
Kiko walks in.
That's when she arrives. This exact moment she arrives.
Yeah.
Where is Echo?
Got like twigs in her hair. She looks like she's gotten lost in the mud.
Hey, has anybody seen Namar? I sure hope nobody killed him. Like, as brutally as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
see how that
obviously
goes.
set him free and he's gone back to his ship.
Mm-hmm,
Hey, you just missed him.
totally. So, what were you about to say,
Right.
Nia? I'm sorry.
don't remember.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they just she just goes back to helping. We'll just keep it at that.
Okay. All right. And so, before too long, the line dwindles and everyone is fed. And finally, you all can sit down. Enjoy your plates.
Okay.
So,
That was an interesting night
yeah,
last
and
night.
if you want to walk in, Maxim or Quadri.
I'm waking up latest, so I don't know about you guys. I don't know.
I think probably Maxim would be next.
Okay. Go ahead, Maxim.
I wake up and I make my way to the breakfast area. Well, that was an eventful night last night, I suppose.
Are you saying this to anyone in particular?
Just walking up to the area with Nia and Vi. If there's still like seats around that area, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a seat available by the time you get up, and Nia and Via, they're sitting enjoying their breakfast, and Via, she'll look a bit sheepish as she hears you
Commentate.
say that. I do apologize for the disturbance.
No, I think it is entirely understandable. Justifiable too.
Yes, but I should have kept my wrath to myself, not disturbed you good people.
It is only natural. I mean, I speak only for myself, but I don't think you need to
So I
apologize.
heard that you all will. I believe I heard that you all are perhaps going to see the professor, Professor Jahi. Is that true?
Yes, I believe it is.
Huh?
We heard that he might have some information
I
about
haven't-
our mission.
See. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I haven't seen Professor Jahi in quite some time, but from what I hear, he's doing all right for himself. Even amongst these troubled times.
Well, that is good to hear. Do I recognize Professor Jahi, the name?
Yes, he actually taught you quite a bit. He was one of your main professors
Right, I'm remembering him now.
at the college. Yeah,
Where was he again? He
been a
was
while.
at the university still, correct?
Yes. He went from teaching magic freely to students to now he's, for a polite term, been persuaded to focus on training Elamon's mages.
I see.
And
Elamon seeks to have
I
his
believe-
monopoly.
yes, and from what I hear, my cousin, Thalin, has joined forces with him to try to train these new recruits.
I see.
You know him, don't you? At least I think you would have if you went on the expedition. You met Thalin, didn't you?
Oh, I knew him long before then. He was a mentor of mine.
Ah. right. I do seem to recall something. I suppose I was away doing my own training in Izuki at that point, but I do recall now.
He's a good instructor. I hope perhaps maybe not teaching his current students everything that he knows. It seems like you all are still in contact, so that seems like it might be the case.
In contact, not entirely. He has more or less been seduced by Elamon in more ways than one. He is quite loyal to him, and he has abandoned his family.
I see.
I would like to see him return to us. I don't know if or when that will happen.
A bit disappointing to hear, though. Perhaps maybe not hope being the right word, but there may be some foul play at influence going on. Perhaps he has someone or something precious to him if he does not cooperate. Though I have no way of confirming or even signifying that is the case.
They are enamored with each other, I will just say that, and it is... It's difficult for me to say, but they are bound to each other. They are loyal, and it will be difficult to break them apart.
I see. Well,
You may have to face him if you go up against Elmon and his vassal. Ellen's never far.
Be that as it may, hopefully he would stand to see our point of view. I may be a bit naive in that hope, but I suppose we will see. At least we are likely to find out.
Well,
Yes.
There's plenty to be done.
Yes, and from the sounds of it, he may have some information that we could find useful.
Certainly. And as you're chatting, Via, she's prepared a plate and handed it to you at this point.
I thank you. Thank you very much. Maxim will begin to eat.
And
now I have to do the accent while I sound like I am eating. I'm sorry.
And as she puts hers aside, Via will turn to you again, Nia. And now we need to get you in something, well, a little more. And she will take your hand, Nia, and lead you to the storeroom where there are clothes of every kind, make, and quality.
We are to be going into sneaking into Elmond's castle. We will need to have a bit more of a less conspicuous outfit for you. No offense.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah,
And Miss Nia, if you just want to, if you'd like to roll me an investigation check just to see what all you managed to find while you're in there.
That's a 15.
Dun, dun.
15. All right, so you managed to find some pretty good stuff in your size. Maybe a couple nice things, and maybe one really, really nice item. I'll let you decide what those might be, but you are certainly able to find some good stuff.
Nice.
Nice.
Mhm. And all the while, little baby Thero, his eyes will kind of like follow you, like wherever you go. He just kind of
Aw.
seems drawn to you.
Adorable.
Suspicious.
Yeah. So, Quadri, are you ready to wake up or are you sleeping in still?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm very much up and making my way towards that smell is for food, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how open it is, but it is very clear that I am very groggy from the night before.
That you what?
Very groggy from the night before, and may have, depending on who or how close were we when like our barracks together specifically?
I mean, everyone's cots. There's like very little space between them, but they're all lined up neatly. So, not too far at least. Hello?
Yes.
Did
Yeah,
you hear me? Did you hear that? Okay.
yes. Sorry. But definitely would have noticed that I was having two nightmares. For
Ooh.
anyone sleeping in that same one, but other than that, just coming in looking for some breakfast.
Ooh. Nightmares.
Nice. So just like all the others, there's good food laid out. It smells very, very good, and everybody's just kind of gathered around, chilling and eating.
Okay, everything's gone quiet for a minute. Can you guys hear me? Am I dead?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Everything's been quiet for like 2 minutes. I have no.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
We can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. Then I
Yes,
did
we can hear
I
you.
did go try to get breakfast. What did I see? Who do I see?
Okay, so at breakfast, you see Maxon, and as you're approaching, you likely see Via and Nia returning. Nia with some new threads. And again, Via, she has her little baby all wrapped up in a papoose, and yeah, everybody's just kind of sitting around.
No, everything seems fine here. I'm gonna get some breakfast. It smells super good.
Super good.
Yes, we managed to get some fresh meat and eggs. Haven't had that in a little while.
Ooh, yum. All right. Well, I hope you slept well. You definitely need the rest after yesterday.
Certainly, I slept quite well, though I fear that my outburst was a detriment to yours.
Not really. It's more my problem with something else.
Well then. So I heard from your comrades that you intend to go visit Professor Jahi at the university.
That seems to be the next part of the plan. Step by step,
Good.
hopefully.
You look a bit haggard, Quadri. Is there anything I can get you?
Do we have any
I can
coffee?
ask Mother to. Yes, certainly. And she'll go over to a pot hanging over the fire and pour you a large mug of coffee.
I'm so grateful there's this. I really don't want to go with the backup. Always stings, but backup is a like backhand slap across the face to wake him up. Which he has asked before if they
Well,
ever
you
ran
don't
out of.
want that.
You'll sit and enjoy this.
Good. So, is anybody doing anything else?
Well, I think I am eating my breakfast. I am very. So I guess should we make plans on how to approach the person? Do we do that on the card try, or are we just going to do like the improv? Everybody try something else and see how that works.
I mean, I'm assuming, and this is just my assumption.
Sort of thing.
How much information do we want to get beforehand? Like before we go up and speak to this?
I think it might be wise to get quite a bit of information, as much as we can possibly. I do not know entirely what to face, as it seems like he has become a bit of a different person since I last saw him.
So you know this professor already?
I knew him. I think. And I knew him. He was not
Knew him?
an element sympathizer. Knew him or what him?
Did you know
No, I
him?
knew
Or did
him.
you know of him? Okay, so you knew him.
Yes.
Well, this helps us.
He also would know I am in prison and maybe possibly know that I am out of prison. So it might be best if he avoids seeing me for the most part. At least, unless we want to kidnap him or wipe his mind or something along that line.
Can you wipe his mind?
Not at my current capacity, no.
I don't
Do you
have
think
that
you can wipe his
ability
mind
either.
later? And why are we suggesting it if we can? Do you know someone who can? Can we get
I'm just saying, like, it could, unless we had like some sort of
I could conquer
mind-altering
this
like
world
thing.
if I had an army, but I don't have the army, so
I'm saying we.
I conquer the world.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, actually, if I think about it, if I find a thing that, because I've heard of this, there's a spell called this that grants you a wish. If I find it and I give it to you, do you think you could make it work multiple times?
The spell, like cast the spell multiple times, or what do you mean?
Can you get me multiple wishes if I get a wish?
I have to be honest, I do not know at this very moment. I would like to say yes, but I just do not currently know. I definitely am not currently at power.
Focus back on the professor. If you
Let's get the point.
Might be
The
wise.
hypothetical that has no way of happening.
Yeah, if you know him but aren't on the best terms with him, then I think it's fair to say that you shouldn't be approaching him if we're trying to get
Yes.
information out of him.
Yes, or at least not looking the way I currently look. I can disguise myself both magically and non-magically, but again, he might be able to tell.
Okay. Do you want a full makeover or a magical makeover? Or do you want to just stay in the back and out of sight?
I think it might just be best for me to stay in the back and out of sight, and perhaps let one of you talk with him, try and get that information. But I think when we approach him and what the approach would be, maybe both of you, perhaps. I do not know. Perhaps we should observe him for a day or two, see what his routine is, see if we can pick up anything.
All right. How far of a journey are we going to? That's something I didn't ask. How far away?
This is the why am I blanking? It's not temple, school, college. That's the
Yes.
It's at the college that he's currently teaching. Would I know how far away that would be from our current position?
Yes, it's in the city of Osney, where you guys went. It's same city as the prison
Okay.
and the docks and the brothel and Elamon's palace.
So it's the same place where everything else pretty much is.
Yes.
I've forgotten that. I thought the prison was in the mountains. Huh.
Nope.
Good to know.
Yeah. It's in the city.
No, it would not be it would not be a very long ride. But I would also say that if we're going to take like a couple of days, we should not go back and forth. Only elevate chances that somebody finds this place.
That's fair.
So if we're going, we should go and like find a place to stay there.
Does anyone know a place where we could stay there? Are there any inns?
I imagine
There are
so.
a few inns.
You guys go ahead
that
and
I
roll
know
me a
of.
history check.
Alright.
If you can see how many
You
inns
want
or
me
places
to
you
roll a
might-
history check? Sorry.
You're gonna roll a 1.
Yes.
You're about to roll a 1.
Do it.
15 plus 9. 24.
Well. Okay. Quadri.
Starts going on a tangent and I just tune him out.
Starts
I mean,
listing
to be
all
fair,
the
I have
inns,
like
their
lived.
cross streets, their own
History.
inns.
I like. Oh, you lived in this city? Name every inn, and Maxim does.
Like, okay,
It
going
is now
by
about time to mention that I have a photographic memory.
Yeah, no. I rolled a
What's
9 plus 1. That's a 10.
ooh.
That's
Oof.
double digits,
Okay.
baby.
Definitely know there are some inns.
It's a town. People use
You know that you can.
Yes, and Maxim,
You know that
you
there's
remember. You're like,
Hotel 6 and the brothel. Sorry.
Which actually
Oh, you're
reminds me,
fine.
I gotta schedule that return visit like later in the week or something.
Oh, absolutely. You can totally schedule that. So, Maxim, you do recall you're like a regular hotels.com. You remember most establishments in the city. You remember the crummy ones, you remember the good ones. As to how safe each place would be, you probably wouldn't know at this point yet, given that you're just fresh out of
Fair
prison.
enough. You
But
know,
you do
actually,
know places to go.
in my own mind, like how I know so much about like the different location, like the different places to rent out in the city, like inns.
Mhm.
Maybe it was like he served in like a secretarial sort of position for a little while before he was a teacher, and like there
Mhm.
was a couple of times where he had like book places for people coming in from around like that,
Mhm.
and that's why he
Yeah.
knows so much about inns, or knows of the inns, not about
Mhm.
of them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you
So I have a
that
couple
is
of
totally
places we can recommend.
understandable,
Yeah,
Crystal.
no, don't push yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
know that it can be just so difficult to like. I mean, when I had my allergies like a while back and the coughing, I get it. You're a brave soul for coming this far.
Hmm.
And don't
Yeah,
strain yourself.
and it was good. It's some good interactions, but yeah, if you need to rest your throat, that
Mhm.
is fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I say this with all the love in the world. 3 shots of your liquor of choice, and then just hit the sack if you don't have anything else to do. It'll burn, it'll hurt, but you will sleep like a baby.
Yeah. Well, the burning
Yeah.
just means it's working. So then I'll leave that to you,
Some
gentlemen. Do
whiskey
you
and
want to
honey and some tea.
continue? Or do you want to just pause here? Because, I mean, our party is
Well, if
dwindling. I mean,
she's
unless you
going,
guys
then
think
the
that you can
recording.
carry on some. Oh, true,
The
yeah.
recordings. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to like doing some light planning.
I'm only good at stopping here and just pick up next week just to close that
Strategizing.
100. Yeah,
That's
'cause we
Okay,
get
then we'll just go
also
ahead and stop
good.
here,
I'm good with that.
awesome.
and we
If
can,
anybody wants to chat,
and we
other
can,
than Crystal, you should go and
Yeah.
post your voice.
Rest.
yeah, go ahead and rest your voice, Crystal. We'll end the session here tonight. Next time on Heroes of Nessis, will they find a reputable place to stay in the city? Who knows?
Wait,
Or will it
who
turn
says anything
into
about
an
reputable?
episode of Hotel Hell with Gordon Ramsay?
I mean, we don't want to get like too
Either way.
reputable either.
Now, I
Mhm.
think, and I may use my connections for this, I'm looking for the, not so much mob hotel, but the criminal hotel that is disguised like a normal building, that you go in there with specific passwords. That's essentially the haven for criminals. That's also a hospital/inn while they can lay low during crime.
We definitely want to get one that they're not going to ask questions or turn us in if they find out that we are, rebels,
That's what I mean. Like,
if at all possible.
we're not law-abiding citizens going in there to help.
Just
We are straight up going to spy and
just
steal.
cue the introductory scene of the poison apple in Shrek 2 with Captain Hook playing "I Like My Town" with a little drop of poison.
Are we?
I love that scene.
This is the fun thing about D&D is that we're legitimately going to spend a serious amount of time finding out which inn/hotel we want to stay at and strategizing that, which I am entirely down for.
Which we will then completely discard and then get up to the next one that has the most random detail you put in while describing the scene, and we will go to that one immediately because that's just how it works. Forget any plot hooks or anything else you try to put in there.
By the way, Heidi, just as a side note, do not kill yourself giving us like a dozen like options for hotels. Just give us like these are like the ones that's like the most highest rated for these specific benefits. Like This one, nobody's gonna
Yeah,
ask
I'll give you
questions at
like
all, but you might
3.
get threatened. This is like the 5-star posh one that we're probably not gonna choose because that would definitely turn heads. Like,
Unless
yeah,
we
you don't need
wanted to,
to
like,
give us like
going undercover, but that's
only
an entire other thing.
only do as many as you are comfortable with making.
Yeah.
My thing is
And
roll a
to be completely
d4.
honest, I didn't even foresee you guys spending an extended amount of time in the city, and I love it. It's giving me ideas already.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to just
Prefer-
strategize as much as I can, and sometimes, yeah, having multiple people helps cover different ideas.
And sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
all for naught, and someone just rolled a 1 on that stealth.
Yeah, there's a little bit of me that
Yeah.
wants to like spy my way through this and just like get the like act like we always had identities in the city and just like oh yeah, I just like we're a family, like a estranged family, like I'm their cousin or something like that, and we've
This
always been living
Mm-hmm.
in this apartment. I don't know what you mean. Just forge a bunch of paperwork and all that.
this is
Because
when, like, that
I don't
split
know.
second identity thing comes in handy.
Yeah, comes in hell.
First identity is a law-abiding citizen. The real you is like the rebel.
Ooh, the Ascend Rogue with that high level ability that lets them like just make a fresh identity. That would be really good in this situation.
Mm.
Like in every other session, you're somebody new. Like that's how they can never find you. That constant chameleon.
We'll never see it. That would be a fun archetype to play. And of course, if you want to get even more busted, you could just change the Assassin Rogue. So you're literally changing everything about you: face, body type, clothing, and like your entire written history.
I mean, for that, if you're really gonna go hard, if you think you're about to get caught, just pose as another murder victim and let them take you away.
I mean, that's an extreme way of going. It, yeah, and
No, like
yeah.
if you
I
just
see the
finished it,
irony,
but like
Crystal.
took too long, it took too long. They're about to catch you. Like they're either gonna see you like with a knife in hand or whatever you used to murder this person, or they're gonna find a second body and just assume that this person took 2 people out.
Yeah,
And if it's like a high business official, just make yourself look like an escort. No one will question it.
yeah.
They usually play that down specifically if it's some high station person. They're like there's just like them and
Now
guests.
I'm just imagining that a legitimate like, if you're cornered in a certain way, you could like a legitimate strategy to hide your involvement in things is literally just to strip. If it works with the story, yeah, I guess it works.
Also, I'd want to like have a specific wizard's study the banishing spell and the summoning spell to see if there's a way you could have someone summon you after being sent a specific message or beacon, like be it planar, like if you put yourself in a little demi plane and then let them summon you out of it, be something higher. But if it's just a normal teleport, have a target to use specifically to bring you out of some situation.
All right.
Essentially a targeted summoning in case of emergency or you need like immediate extraction. That takes some serious setup, and it probably only worked once.
Like I'm pretty sure there's actually like a spell that does something like that. I think it's Vortex Warp, where I think it's a shorter distance, but it's kind of like Misty Step, where instead of like teleporting yourself, you teleport an ally or enemy.
Yeah, this is researchable. This is why we have wizards. They make the coolest spells and then they just make them weird. This is why, like, the wizard meme is like, books of magic is just called fuckery levels 1 through 4, advanced fuckery levels 5 through 7, and super advanced fuckery levels 7 through 9.
You know, that's a good description for it. And you know Sid is going all out with that advanced fuckery. The ultimate mega fuckery. Alright, well, Crystal still hanging around. I don't know if you're just enjoying listening in.
I'm assuming she's listening and writing stuff
guys-
down to like use against us. And like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
a
listening.
homebrew creature that can rip out a level is also just a fun little like
Oh no.
that's a dungeon chase
Oh,
boss.
just-
Specifically,
Can we choose what levels?
first?
Out of curiosity, would we be able to choose what level? Because
No,
if
it
like
rips out the last
I-
level you
I
took,
just
and it essentially like it
that makes
doesn't
that would
take
make
your hit points. It just takes well, the one I faced, it just took the abilities you gain from. So like you would lose access to it, be it spells or more necessarily like the slots. So you'd have the spell prepared, but no power for it.
I just want to say that, like, I would love the ultimate FU to be a wild magic sorcerer having the wild magic surge stolen, and then having the monster blow itself up. I think that would be
The
like
monster doesn't
hilarious
use
and
power.
funny.
It just essentially just takes it and just bottles it away. That's the thing. Like it's not absorbing
Fair
the power
enough.
for itself. It's just taking away the strength. And depending on the monster you want to use, you can like have it. You could have it use it for itself, or you could have it just send it somewhere else, or just crystallize it into like raw power given form, and that's just what it hoards because why not? Which,
Fair
when you
enough.
think about it, how is that not a BG's like end game power source? It's been ripping away the levels of random like NPCs and other characters in the world.
Ooh, yeah, and it's just got like a weird assortment of different abilities. Like it can fly into a rage, it can enter a blade song, it
And
can
it's essentially creating
pass
its own what do you call it? Like it's perfect either warrior or body.
combo.
And it's just like I'm taking like the abilities from a level 6 wizard and a level 5 barbarian, and just
It's
making a level 20 character, but it's mismatching the abilities of every other class.
it's all for one, and like how he like I'm just imagining like taking the abilities and like stacking them onto each other. Like I'm like the only one that's coming to mind right now, but I'm sure I can think of more. Is like Big B's hand, but with like a rage and maybe like some other like bestial enhancement or something like that, and just like big fuck off fist.
Well, here's my thing. Like for the way I'm measuring this stack is like it'll take a level. Its first level would be in the barbarian because that's when you get rage.
Oh.
In a sense. Second level fighter because that's when it gets its attack style, its action surge, and I think like one other thing. Third level, anything it wants to fuck with us with any class because that's when most of them get their like definitive stuff, and they could just cherry pick. Is the thing like it's literally a cherry picked character for class stats.
See.
And it's horrifying.
So, oh man, I had something come to mind. Can it come some of these abilities, like spell set stolen as well? Because now I'm just imagining like Bigby's hand, mixing Bigby's hand with enhanced ability, and then using like
you